What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to the 2017 Sammy Awards. I'm your host, Samuel Adams, and today we are going to be taking a look back at the past year of video games. We have 5 categories tonight that we will be going through, marking all of the best and some of the worst games that have come out over the course of 2017. Before we jump into it, let's go ahead and discuss the 5 categories that we'll be talking about here tonight. The first of which is the Rebirth Award, which is going to a remaster that has breathed a brand new breath of life into a franchise that was otherwise uninteresting or overwhelmingly dead. The next category is It's a Joke, right? Which is going to a game that was so unimpressive or overwhelmingly disappointing that people actually asked if the developers were playing a joke on them. Next up is the Game Changer Award, which is going to a game that has blazed a brand new trail in the gaming industry that is going to shape the future of where at least one genre is going to be headed over the course of the next 5 to 10 years. Then we have the Most Anticipated category, which is going to a game that has garnered the most discussion, both within its dedicated community as well as the larger gaming population as a whole. And to wrap it all up, we have the Game of the Year, which is a game that is undeniably, unequivocally, Game of the Year. Some people may not agree with that, and that's their own opinion. However, there is no doubting that this game at least possesses the qualities of being the Game of the Year for 2017. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So to start things off, we will talk about the Rebirth Award. Now this again is a game that breathed a new breath of life into an otherwise uninteresting or washed up franchise, and this year's nominees are pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look. The Rebirth Award. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Okami HD. Wipeout Omega Collection. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And now that we've seen all of those incredible nominees, all of which are respectable games, let's go ahead and check out the winner of the Rebirth Award. And the award does end up going to Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy. Whenever the Insane Trilogy was announced, I actually couldn't believe that it was happening because no one thought that they would remaster a Crash Bandicoot game. One, let alone multiple. On top of that, they did a fantastic job of bringing the gameplay and the looks of Crash Bandicoot to a new generation of gamers that was able to experience it yet again, and then some people that had already had kids, they could go back to the experiences that they had had in their childhoods and give those and relive those experiences with their children. It was absolutely incredible to see happen. Not all of the remasters that come out work out as well as the Insane Trilogy did. I mean, it pleased old fans, it brought new fans into the mix, and it also opened up a brand new path for new Crash Bandicoot games to come out in the future. And so with all of that being taken into account, I can't help but give the Rebirth Award to Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. The next category is It's a Joke, right? The games that are nominated for this award may not be the worst games ever, but they certainly weren't the best, and they certainly were underwhelming and largely a letdown. So with that being said, let's take a look at these underwhelming, disappointing nominees. It's a joke, right? Star Wars Battlefront 2. Mass Effect Andromeda. Lawbreakers. Troll and I. And so, with all of those being shown off in all of their glory, the winner of the It's a Joke, right, award does end up going to Mass Effect Andromeda. For years, when people thought about the phrase Mass Effect, they thought about an incredibly iconic gaming franchise that just absolutely breathed life into its story and made an incredible experience for millions of players through games 1, 2, and although 3 was controversy, I would even say that 3 was also a fantastic story. And then comes along Mass Effect Andromeda, which was sort of an entry point, or at least a potential entry point, for those that felt kind of closed off to the universe that Mass Effect was presenting, because whenever you have games 1, 2, and 3, you feel compelled to play the other ones to get the full gist of the story before diving right in. So with Andromeda, it was a brand new story. People felt like they could jump in for the first time if they wanted to, but it was also going to be pleasing to longtime fans. Lo and behold, it seems like everyone was disappointed. The performance was not that great on consoles, the story itself was largely underwhelming, the gameplay was okay, it was so bland, it was so regurgitated. It was just the essence of what no one wanted to see from Mass Effect. And so, with all of those things being said, it seems like Mass Effect Andromeda is worthy of the "it's a joke, right?" award, because everybody had so much of a higher level of expectation for such an iconic franchise. Next up, we have the Game Changer Award, which is going to a game that blazed a new trail in the industry, helping to create a new experience for players while also helping shape the future of the gaming industry. And so, let's check out the nominees. The Game Changer Award. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Fortnite. Super Mario Odyssey. With all of those nominees being taken into account, let's go ahead and check out the winner of the Game Changer Award for 2017. And the winner, does go to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has a lot of issues, whether you're playing on the Xbox One or the PC. Whether it be performance, whether it be with the community itself, whether it be with gameplay mechanics or weapon balance, there are some issues within the game, but no one can deny that this game has been a game changer for 2017. Throughout the entire year, we have seen new careers flourish because of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. We have seen the game take the internet by storm. If you log on to Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Reddit at any time of the day, there is a solid chance you are going to see something to do with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This game has just spread like wildfire. With the release of the Xbox One version, sales of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds have topped 30 million across the PC and the Xbox One. That is just a mind-boggling number. There is no doubt that this game is going to be a game changer, at least in terms of sales. On top of that, there are mobile games coming out that are emulating PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. There are so many different kinds of games that are starting to look into Battle Royale modes just because of the popularity, and then you have other games taking what PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds did and add to it, with Fortnite releasing a 50v50 mode, putting new kinds of mechanics into their game. Who knows how much of that was done before PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds made it big, but there is no doubt that the influence that major game had directly impacted some of the other games that have come out throughout 2017 and will impact those coming out in 2018. And so with that being said, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds gets my Game Changer Award for 2017. Next up, we have the award for the most anticipated game, which is going to a game that is garnering an incredible amount of excitement from its existing fan base as well as the general gaming community. So let's check out those nominees. Award for the most anticipated game. Red Dead Redemption 2. Far Cry 5. God of War. The Last of Us Part 2. All of those games just simply look fantastic. I can't wait to play every single one of them if I can get my hands on them. But with that being said, the winner for the most anticipated game goes to The Last of Us Part 2. For me, this one was a no-brainer because The Last of Us is such a huge game, huge franchise, and with The Last of Us Part 2 coming out, people cannot wait to get back into that universe that was originally laid down a couple of years back by Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog did such an incredible job and does such an incredible job of fleshing out their characters through scenarios. They give them personality through the experiences that they do have in their own lives. For instance, the journey that is taken by Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us, that is an experience. That is not a game. That is something that's deeper than a movie. That is something that I got emotionally involved into the point that that's almost one of those endings that brings you to tears, and to think that that could even be close to being replicated in The Last of Us Part 2, I can't help but be excited about that because the first one was such a masterpiece, and I'm so glad that they brought it to PlayStation 4. According to a statement at PSX, the game is approximately about 50 to 60% done, so will we see this one in 2018? I would say that it is unlikely unless we see it towards the end of November or the first part of December, but I would say look for this one around the spring of 2019 at the earliest. However, I'm going to be excited about it until then, and so for that reason, the game is getting my most anticipated game award for 2017. And to wrap it all up, the king of them all, the cream of the crop, we have the Game of the Year award. The title of Game of the Year is going to a game that is undeniably, unequivocally a fantastic game. Some may say that it is not Game of the Year, and that is perfectly fine, but there is no doubt that it is completely deserving of its nomination. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the Game of the Year. Game of the Year. Cuphead. Horizon Zero Dawn. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Every one of those games could get Game of the Year. I 100% back that. On top of that, there are so many games that have come out throughout 2017 that have been incredible experiences that they should be on that list, but I can't have this giant laundry list of nominees. That simply wouldn't be fair. I had to narrow it down, and at the end of the day, we are going to have to narrow it down to only one. And so, with that being said, the winner of Game of the Year for 2017 does end up going to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I chose Breath of the Wild for multiple reasons, but the main reason is that it incorporates so many genres together, and it does it so well. The shrine puzzles are so engaging and incredible. The combat is perfect, I would say. The climbing and exploration is more satisfying than Skyrim by far. There are so many elements that are brought together so well that it just is simply deserving of Game of the Year. Nintendo did an amazing job. I also gave it this award because it completely and totally changed the Legend of Zelda franchise from here on out, because we have never seen a Zelda game quite this in depth. Both in the world and the combat, and the way that you can solve puzzles, there has never been a Zelda game that has been this fleshed out, this beautiful, and just this complete. It is just simply a complete game. I have heard fantastic things about the DLC, although we have gotten all the DLC that we are going to be getting because development has begun on the next entry into the Legend of Zelda franchise, and if it's going to be anything like Breath of the Wild, then that game certainly has a good bit of expectation to live up to, and I can't wait to see what it holds. But regardless of what the future does hold for The Legend of Zelda, it is the standing rule here on my channel that the Game of the Year is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So there you have it, those are the Sammy Awards for 2017. I hope you have enjoyed this year's awards show. If you did, drop me a like down below, and in that comment section, let me know what game you think should have won for each of the categories, and also any other comments that you have on any other kind of awards show. It's just that good time of year where we can all sit back and reflect as we sip on our eggnog or water or whatever you might partake in and look at the past year of video games. It's a great time for that. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I will talk to you soon, and have a fantastic rest of your holiday season, and thank you for watching.